How's it going, everyone? It's Nathan from Nathan's MRE, and today we have a very special ration. This particular ration is a Russian ration. This is a Federal Protective Services FSO ration. Okay, so basically it translates to individual meal, and we have a production and expiration date. So the production is 9/21/2017, so it's pretty fresh, and the expiration is 7/21/2019. Has a little bit different label I have not seen before. It's a little different ration altogether. I'm curious to see if it's some of the same old on the inside, or if it actually is something different. We have a Ziploc on the bottom here, and there should be a tear notch. Yes, there is. We'll actually open this one correctly instead of just slicing it open. There we go. This card of that is a pretty big ration and weighing almost 5 pounds. And let's go ahead and get her open. I think we're upside down. We are upside down. Okay, so right away I see something different. And this is Durall. Looks like gum. Looks like pineapple gum. Or is it mango? Possibly mango. I think it's mango. That should be interesting. We have our officer's chocolate bar. We have 1, 2, 3 very large packs of sugar, and they do look a little bit different. We have 3 wet naps on top. We have some windproof, waterproof matches. And this is actually from Mountain Ration, I believe, judging by the color of the package. Whoops. Water purification tablets. We have 5 and 6. That's a little bit different there. Very odd. Very odd. They feel a little bigger. Like, that's a really small tablet. These feel a little bit bigger. We'll translate that real quick. Okay, so we have some Shapak, whatever that is. The translator is not clear. It's either the pork fat or it is it translates to deer. I don't know. We'll get to that here in a minute. Here we have, I believe this is pate. It says swine, so it's probably pork pate. Mash of apples, so like the applesauce. This is zucchini caviar. This is canned meats and vegetables, so like a stew, like a vegetable meat stew. And this is just the beef. This should be tashanka. And here we have kind of an odd little bar. It feels like a fruit bar. Fruit and nuts. Doesn't really say too much about it. We'll get back to that here in a minute. That'll tell itself whenever we open it up. We have some drink mix. That won't translate. I know it won't. We have 2 packs of tea. We have, I believe this is pepper. Yeah, black milled pepper. This should be the vitamin tab. Biologically active. We have our salt, and I believe, holy, this is hard as a rock. I believe that's the powdered milk. Yep, and that's not going to be any good. That's just hard as steel. So it definitely got some moisture, and the package it's in is very thin. Put some damn lights in here. Got the lights all messed up. There we go. The package is very thin. And almost like a wax paper. Look at that. I'm pretty sure that's not good. Ooh, it doesn't smell good either. We have our 3 standard issue IRP spoons. We have some wadded up paper towels in case things go bad, if you know what I mean. We have our Esbit stove. fuel tabs. We have some apple butter, and this is in the foil packet. We'll just have to make sure and smell that before we go diving into it. And here we have a completely and totally unmarked can of something. I mean, completely unmarked. Now, if it had a label and now it doesn't, hard to say. We'll have our little fighting spear here for open packages with. We have 4 packs of the crackers. I actually like these crackers better than some of the others. And that, my friends, got a crunched up pack of coffee. It still feels good though. That, my friends, is all that's in this ration. Okay, so let's open some of this stuff up and we'll get it heating up. The biggest mystery of this one is going to be this guy right here. I'm curious to see what this is. And that is kasha of some arrangement. It smells good. There's no way to know. I guess maybe when we taste it, we'll know if it's beef or pork. It's probably beef, though. Usually these are beef. And it doesn't smell strange or anything. It smells like it's somewhat fresh. It does look a little separated on the top, but that's okay. And this was... let's see here. I'm going to see here. And this was the shapek, which I think is the fat, the pork fat. Feels like it's gonna break. Nope. It is. And nothing like a can of fat, right? It's have a very good smell to it. It's kind of got some gelatin stuff going on there. This looks a little different than most of it, though. Most of it... where's the damn spoons at here? We're wasting time. Let's get back to it a little bit later. Let's move on. And this one was... my phone stopped going off just for 1 second. This is the beef stew. So let's look at the beef stew. We'll look at everything, then we'll heat it all up. Whoa, buddy. You gotta watch these foil top pouches because they will explode on you when you open them. In fact, a lot of guys just cut them open. And that, my friends, is Tashanka, which is basically like braised beef. Man, making a mess out of things today. Braised beef. So we'll come back to that. We'll go ahead and check out the stew here. And there is the vegetable beef stew. And you can see it has a bay leaf in the back of it. A little bit of fat separated. It does smell very good though. It should be very good. Kind of has some orange looking grease on there. Kind of standard for that kind of stuff. Here we have the zucchini caviar. Hit me right in the face. So there's that. It looks a little jumbled up, you might say. Still smells perfectly fine though. No problem with that at all. Next up we have the swine. It should be pate. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the apples. The applesauce. Doesn't smell like much of anything. Next up we have the swine. And like I said, it should be pate. Yeah, it looks real good actually. Smells like Russian pate. It should be interesting. Okay, so we're back. Everything's good and made up. We have the sports drink, we have the coffee, we have the tea. All of our sides here are open. So I'm gonna jump into these mains first. Everything is so full, it's about ready to spill out. And we're gonna start with Now let's start with the beef stew. Ooh. Burn my little digits. It's not quite heated up on the corner over here, but it's fine. I'm not picky, I promise you. It seemed like it was about to boil out of the can, so I didn't want to overdo it. Look how hearty that is. Make sure it's not melting our tray. There's tons of potatoes. There's some carrots in there. About half of it there. And then go ahead and taste that. We'll move on to the Tushonka. Oh man, look what I did. Look what I did. It's all right. And it's just packed full of potatoes and beef. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect Russian, we'll call it like a beef stew is basically what it is. A little greasy, no preservatives in it, and that's what really counts. Perfect. On these meals, the grease is what preserves the meat, not preservatives. Man. All right, moving on. Moving on. Get this little Tushonka out. The Tushonka is so full. Look at that. And this is basically just braised beef. Usually there's a big chunk in the middle of the can. This one there's not. It's more of a ground Tushonka. But look at all that. Tons of nice juice. We'll jump into this thing right away. If you've never had Tushonka, you got to try it. Most of the Russian IRPs have it in it. Really good. I'll be honest with you though, that's better. Has more consistency to it. Tushonka varies a lot, and different spices and flavors. I've had better than this before, but this is very good. Perfect. Now we had to put on some hot mitts there because it definitely would have cooked our table. And here's our kasha. And our kasha, and a lot of guys will put this in a pan. Whoop. We break it? Nah. We'll put this in a pan with water and kind of rehydrate it because it can be kind of dry. I'm curious to taste it and see how it is. It looks like it's got a little age on it. Doesn't taste like it though. It tastes nice. It's not perfumey and odd at all. You see chunks of meat in it. And this is, I guess, in a rice kasha. That bite there was a little bit funky. Kind of got like a little hint of like a perfumey type taste to it. You can tell it's getting a little bit aged. It is getting a little bit aged. You can see the separation of the white on it. But overall, that's not a bad deal at all. Okay, moving on. The stick is what they call it, I believe. So I can't drop this real quick, that'd be awesome. And this is basically just pork fat. Some of it has meat, some of it don't. You know, it just depends on what variance of it is. It's definitely greasy, man. You have to be into the pork grease to like that. That's basically just a chunk of fat, right? Now, this is a lot better than a lot I've had. This actually has some good flavor to it. It's not just straight out fat. There's little pieces of meat in here. It's definitely very messy, but it has a very nice flavor to it. It's not just straight out, just fat only, you know. And the straight out fat only, I'm not a big fan of. But this isn't bad. And a lot of guys say they use this to fry stuff in, right? Like if they, I guess if you have some actual meat, like some beef or some wild game, you actually fry it in this stuff. It's not bad at all. It feels like the chances of you stroking out because you ate a can of that is probably pretty good. But if you have high cholesterol, it's probably definitely not something you want to venture into. But yeah, I mean, the taste is great on it. Let's wash that down with a little bit of our sports drink here. It smells like it maybe has a hint of lemon to it. It's kind of a citrus kind of taste to it. It's very mild, very good. I'm not so sure they have that drink anymore in the brand new rations. I think they switched over to that silver packet stuff. Anyway, moving on. They keep this show rolling, or it'll be a 3-hour long video. So you gotta keep that in mind. There's our standard issue hardtack Russia crackers. These are actually pretty fresh. A lot more fresher than usual. Get some of the swine here. I feel like that's gonna snap. Yeah, that is gonna snap. Still broke. It's all right, we'll work through it. Our swine pate. Very nice and buttery smooth. It is more of a luncheon meat than it is a pate, though. So it's kind of spongy, like lunch meat, or pate would be real buttery, like a spread kind of. So I'm going to call this luncheon meat, the swine luncheon meat. Now, vegetable caviar is a very acquired taste. I think they actually call it a ragu. And to me, it has like a spaghetti kind of taste to it. Give it a little mix first. A lot of people put it with the main. And it kind of looks like baby food, but it's basically pureed vegetables. It does bring something else to that main, like a tomatoey kind of background to it. It's actually not a bad combo at all. I'll be pretty good. I'll try some of this tea. A standard issue Russian black tea. Russian tea is very nice. It's very mild. It's not bitter. You don't really need any sugar or milk or anything with it. I mean, you could if you wanted to. Overall, very good. All right. Moving on here. Move on to our apple puree, which is basically applesauce. Like a very fine pureed applesauce. Very fine. Slightly tart, a little more tart than usual. Not a lot of sugar in it. She could add some, but it's not that bad. Very nice. Very nice touch to the meal. Okay. Moving on here. We have some apple butter. We'll squish it around one more time. Do we have a tear notch? Looks like probably no. We'll just clip the very corner of it off there. So we can control it, squeeze it out, take a smell of it, verify that it does not smell sour, because that is an issue that these could have. Nice and dark in color, which is usually a good sign. Does not smell sour. Let's take a try. Oh yeah. Very, very good. No disappointment at all. Look at that. Nice, sweet slash tart, more like a jam type substance. Very, very good. We'll sit down with a little sip of coffee here. Perfect combo. The coffee in these Russian IRPs is not overpowering at all. Very mild. We add a little more water to that than usual. And not bad at all. Now, it's probably either apricot or a plum bar with nuts in it. It smells like plum. Uh-oh. 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 No, that's not good. That's moldy. Ah. All right, break. All right, I had to spit that one out. We didn't see that. It's got mold all over the end of it. Man, oh man. Well, at least I didn't swallow it. Ugh. Wash that down with a little bit of this. That's a close one. Almost checked out. Okay. And we'll say this at the very end, maybe. Oh, no, we'll just do it right now. Who cares, right? It's our vitamin tab, our little white M&M. Down the hatch that goes. Nice candy coating on it. Ah, okay. All right. Get it together here. Let's get into our chocolate bar. Chocolate bar survived very well. Look at that. Very nice, super dark chocolate. Cover up the taste of that funky fruit bar in there. Ooh. Is that good? They're a very odd color, this gum is. That's a very odd color. It's like the color of the luncheon meat or pate. Doesn't smell like much of anything. Give it a try. the Durall gum, right? Definitely mango. I got that weird mango kind of perfumey taste to it. But it's not bad. They just made it an odd color. A little bit of mint background in it. Not bad. It's something just totally different. So yeah, I mean, this meal is kind of a lot of the same. We'll do it backwards. These are wet naps at the very end. So I'm kind of curious to see. I forgot to do it earlier. Not a lot of difference between this and a regular standard IRP. There is some differences. Doesn't feel very wet, but it's wet enough, I guess. Nice cloth type material. Yeah. So, I mean, overall, it's very similar to a regular standard IRP. Some slight changes in it. This one had a tiny bit of age on some of the items, which you just got to expect that with stuff from Russia. You never know. I mean, it could be a mix matched on the dates. Storage is a lot of concern about that. A lot of variables to that. And I didn't say it in the last one. People's asking me. The knife, link in the description. It's less than 20 bucks. It does stay sharp. A lot of knife guys hating on my $20 knife, but it's 20 bucks. Most of you guys are never going to use that knife to the potential where it's not going to work. If you do batoning with it or whatever. Who does batoning? Nobody. Nobody has to do that anymore. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10, only because the funky fruit bar and a few other things are a little weird. The kasha was a little weird. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. We'll be back in a few days with something very special, so stay tuned. We'll see you later. Have a good day.
И вечное солнце над миром зайдет.